Hello everyone and welcome to the Ghost Layers Report. It's me as always, Ryan, here from Tokyo, Japan. Now it's no secret that I'm from the United States of America. And recently it appears that 20 states in America are filing a petition to secede from the Union. Now when I first saw this, I just put my hand over my head and think, Before we get into this, let's look at the states that are actually petitioning. These states include Alabama, Arkansas, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, South Dakota, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. And yeah, we got Georgia there. Okay, so I don't even know where to begin with this one, okay? Do the people who signing this actually believe this is going to do some good? This is going to solve the problems America's facing right now? Massive debt, trapped in several different wars, civil liberties being eroded. You know, now American citizens can be murdered by the U.S. government if you're suspected of being a terrorist, through the NDAA Act. All these things and many others. The solution to this, for some people in America, is to break up the Union. Really. Now, you do know that secession is an act of treason. Now, if you petition peacefully and the U.S. government says try it, that might be different. But do not believe that the U.S. federal government in Washington, D.C. is going to play ball with this. They're not going to let you do this peacefully. Alright? The only positive note about this that I can really see is that these petitions are not coming from the governments of these states. They're coming from actual people. So it's a form of direct democracy. Okay, fair enough. But let's look at the overall effect that seceding from the Union will undoubtedly have. Okay, number one, international agreements with other countries and treaties. It's going to send all that into question, and will put the United States government in a major point of legitimacy questions. Now, I know a lot of people would like to see that happen because America is an empire. But doing it through seceding is going to create such a chaotic situation that the UN will be taking over those treaties and operating those things, most likely, until the U.S. government becomes stable and resettles itself. During that time, any number of things can happen to make your situation worse. Trade, another big issue. Okay? United States benefits, for lack of a better word, from easy trade with other nations because they have a union. Because all these states are together and use something called a Commerce Clause, so everybody can make one trade agreement with one other country and all the other states benefit from it. Now, if you start breaking up, all these little countries suddenly have to negotiate with you individually as a state, which means you need to set up diplomats, you need to set up embassies, you need to get recognized as a country, number one. Okay, good luck with that, okay? Good luck with that. If you member of the Confederacy, very few countries recognized it. It was considered to be basically a rogue faction, a civil war. Okay? Another thing, which relates to me, which affects a lot of people, is Americans who don't live in America, who are U.S. citizens and do have an allegiance to their country. And you break up the Union like that, that's going to make all these embassies across the world much, much weaker. Alright, now there's advantages to that depending on which country it is, because some countries, they're dealing with way too much American influence. But the most focused thing we need to focus on here is the American people who live in these countries. Okay, so you weaken these embassies because the country's been thrown into peril through a secession movement, and passports become questionable. Let's say on my passport, the state I'm listed as secedes. That could invalidate my passport. Basically makes me a non-citizen. And since the state that just seceded doesn't have an embassy, I no longer have a visa. Which means I don't legally have any rights. Okay? Japan could do anything they wanted to me. And this could go for any American living in any country. So you're putting a lot of people at risk just because, you don't like President Barack Obama and you don't like the direction the country's going in. You're just going to leave. You're creating chaos. You're not helping a solution. You're making things worse. So these people are trying to succeed from the Union. I hate to say this, but man, you're crazy.